Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my city Skylines series, Fangchenggang region. Today we are in episode 38 and we are finally finishing the first area of the city and building the first apartment blocks. So what you can see me there doing at first is making these train lines and they are sunken. That's not realistic, I know. This will be switched off in this video still, so don't be afraid of this. This will be made an kind of normal train line that is just fenced off, so this will be in the second half of this video, but this is just a small notice for you guys when you think this is unrealistic. Yeah, it is. I switched it off later on. But yeah, for the beginning I've just kept it like this, and my initial thoughts were that it would make a bridge over there because of the elevation changes there, but this wasn't turning out realistic like I wanted it to, but it was worth a try, I would say. And normally I would also delete this part where I would be building it, but this is kind of the main thing that I did in this episode, so I wanted to keep it in. And then also the change of it in, so that it's kind of more realistic and better relatable for you guys what I'm doing. So what I'm doing there is I'm adding in the first like shop strip on the highway area. So this was what I wanted to do today, was kind of to make the first kind of height switches and define the height of the buildings in this area. And for this one I've worked with this kind of height because it works out for me quite well. And it is just kind of good because then you can also see the higher buildings in the background, and it's having kind of this step-by-step elevation change of the buildings. So this is something that I'm very happy about and that I will also try to keep in my mind once I'm doing the whole kind of village style around it. Also, I'm once again having so much fun with this series, so with this small village town built there, what I'm doing right now, I got so much more joy than just doing a very big city right now. We'll definitely come back to the big city at one point, but for now I'm just very happy that I can build in this area and that I can kind of make my own new style once again, and yeah, this is very cool to do. And yes, so here you can see me making the backyards, and also I've made some smaller shops in the backyard, and it will just kind of be very dirty and rough like this, so it will be having a lot of skid marks in and stuff like this. So this is something to keep an eye out that we'll be placing in some seconds, but this is just kind of the goal that I was having for myself for this area. Then I'm also just adding in some trees just to hide the weird glitchy terrain. And this is just kind of a technique that I'm using for quite a while now, and I'm very happy about it because it works out quite a lot. And as you can see, it is also looking quite decent in my opinion, so it's looking also pretty realistic. For the other side, I thought about, okay, this is way too narrow for buildings, so what would be if I would try to make an kind of small squarish area, so a place where you could go with your friends and sit down on a bench and maybe relax in the sun. And yeah, this is what I did there, and it's also in front of this kind of hotel thing, because I would imagine that this big building is an hotel. And so I thought about it would be cool to have maybe a park next to it and some stuff like this, so that you as a visitor of the city can do something in it there. And yeah, turned out quite well, I would say. Very happy about it, and yeah, slowly the main kind of part of this town is coming together quite well. It isn't anything like finished, but it is coming together at least in some way, and it's looking very decent. Also with some vegetation on the kind of train tracks, because it's also something that I think is quite realistic to have some bushes there. And this is just a thing that I'm doing always when I'm doing something like this. Then here for the planters, I've kind of wanted to make some custom planters, and so I've made 3 of them and morphed them to one basically, and this is what I did there, and I just made them a big line of them and then deleted some of them out, and so that I could make the spacing quite good. Here now I'm just adding in these cypress trees, because they're kind of having this very expensive and luxurious look to it, and so I thought about, yeah, this would be the perfect thing to have in here, together with some bushes, so just some very light detailing, I would say, but this is kind of also the detailing that I enjoy doing in City Skylines, because it kind of makes the city look very realistic. And yeah, so there we are now moving on to detailing the back kind of back area of the buildings and maintenance area. For this one I've then used skid marks and stuff like this, so basically just to show that it's very much in use, and that's just basically a space that they kind of use just for, how should I say this, they're using this for the kind of maybe something like service areas, so when you have some stuff that you get into the shop, it would be from back there. So it wouldn't be that good maintained, but yeah, it is kind of a very cool thing to do, and I just love doing some dirty stuff like this. So there I've did these skid marks, added some cars in, and a stop sign, and some fences, just for the realism out of it. And yeah, this is also what I enjoy doing in City Skylines, so I'm not kind of this extremely fan of a big skyline. Don't get me wrong, I love skylines, but I even love more backyard detailing, because it just kind of gives me the challenge, I would say, to do something like this, and it isn't that kind of normal to do it, so I like to do it. And here they just added in some garbage bins and stuff like this, and just some basic detailing once again. And another thing that I want to say is that one of you guys already said it in one of my last videos, that there isn't that much of an kind of excitement rate of you guys and watch time after a 20-minute time mark, and this is completely right. So I'm trying to get them down to 20 minutes. This one is 24 minutes, but that's also okay. The reason for this is that I'm doing some more cinematics in my videos right now. So we have the mid cinematic, the starting cinematic, and sometimes an end cinematic. So this is just basically what I'm doing there, but this is just something that I kind of want to keep. Maybe the videos will be getting to 20 minutes at one point, but for now I have so much stuff recorded that I need to get it into some episodes. But yes. So here I'm just adding in all the decals just to get it looking really rough and dirty. Works out quite well, I would say. And yes. Here I've made this kind of poles, just for the effect of that you would try to stop people from driving there all around without a fence. Because then with a fence it wouldn't look like a plaza any longer, it would be looking kind of like a backyard. Well, it's kind of going into a backyard, but I was just wanting to have it like this, so I made it like that. And yes, so this whole thing is quite cool. So I've really enjoyed doing it, and I will definitely be keeping on this city for a while, on this village, because this village isn't anything like finished. It should also have some farms around it, so there have still a lot to do. But yeah, we're now very soon coming to the detailing of the park, and let me tell you that, guys, the park is one of my favorite points in my city right now. The reason for this is that this park is kind of a pine park, so it isn't kind of with green grass and everything, and it is just like, yeah, it is just kind of like, it isn't this crazy stuff, it is having some dirt and it's some roughness to it. I just kind of like it. So this was just a thing that I enjoyed, and I might also do some more parks like this with some small benches in them. And yeah, so slowly the city is growing once again. We had another huge death wave coming in from 12,000 people. Now we're back to 5,000, so for my next series I definitely have to keep an eye on that. But yeah. So this was part 1, now we get into cinematics, and if you're new to my channel and you've watched this video until this point, I would appreciate if you consider liking this video. And also, if you want to stay up to date with what I build, please subscribe to me. It is free and it helps me quite a lot, so thank you guys if you do. And definitely go check out my other videos, and we'll see each other after the cinematics. So I'm back once again, and we are finally filling in the second space here. And then we are elevating the train tracks, as already said. The reason for this is that it isn't realistic like this. It wouldn't be occurring in Japan like this. And for this information, thank you, Arco from the $2 Discord. He told me about that, and so I switched it off. So this is very cool for you, thank you. And yes, so but at first I'm just doing there a small parking lot for a small kind of shop. It isn't like this humongous kind of parking space like you would have in America. It's just a very, very small one. And the reason for this is that it would be quite narrow there. They wouldn't be having that much space in Japan, so they basically just would be doing it like this. And so I thought about, yeah, we'd be getting this in as a small detail. And I think it looks so good. I just kind of love detailing stuff like this on. And I'm just kind of this micro detail, I would say. So I just love doing some very, very small details like these areas. Due to this one, I'm not having the biggest cities, I would say. I'm having some smaller cities, but higher detailed ones. And yeah, this is just kind of the style of me building stuff. And also this would be even more kind of... You will be seeing this way more intense in the next series, because I will be making a lot of small progress, but we won't have that big of a city. So if you guys watch Skibid, I think it's called the French series or something like this. So basically we're building the French city with some Paris inspiration, like it's just kind of like this. It will be something like that. Not in the quality, definitely, that's for sure, but it will be kind of my try on that. I mean, seriously, he's such a good builder, it's so amazing. There's so many good builders though on YouTube, and so many new ones, so if you haven't already, definitely check out Waltrot Gaming for an example. He's doing incredibly good builds. And he's pretty new, so definitely give him a warm welcome, he's incredibly good. And yes. So, there you can kind of see what I'm doing there, and just adding in some cars once again, and to make them look like they're all parked there. Just for some small details, and basically this will be not the customers, this will be the workers parking there, kind of in the not visible space, so that you have a lot of visible space for the people when you are going to shop there, because this is kind of giving them a little push. That's pretty interesting in the psychology of us humans, that is giving us a push when you see an empty parking lot. I'm emotional, but it is like that, so we have to live with it. There I've just made a very dense forest. The reason for this is that I kind of want to definitely have some green spaces in my city, and the reason for this is that green spaces are great, and they're just kind of making people happy and happier. So there's once again this park. I just love it, it is so cool. It was a ton of work, but it was worth it, so this was just an idea that I got while trying around with adding bushes to an area, so this is just what I wanted to do there, because I was very inspired by the hotel garden that I built in the last episode. So this was basically my main inspiration for that. Here just adding in some more details so that we can definitely say that the area between this and the highway is also detailed. On the highway there's still some things missing, just like some road markings and some signs, but they will come with time. And for this one I'm just experimenting right now, so that's the reason that I haven't added them in yet. And yeah, so I'm very happy with where this series is going. It is feeling more finished from episode to episode, it's very good. And I'm just having a ton of fun with it, so I actually right now think that the end will be when the save game can't be loaded any longer. We might come to this point in some kind of time. We are quite at some limits, and my PC is also pretty hardly working on loading the city and playing on it, so this is kind of a torture for my PC right now, but right now it is still okay, I would say. There are these 3 tiny shops. I just love kind of the look of them, because there's a curve and they're just like this own little district style. So I just love them. I just like some small details like that. And now we will be elevating the train tracks once again. And this was a ton of work with the kind of train... How would you call them? Train crossings, that's the name for them, I'm sorry. But it worked out in the end quite well. And this was just some work that I did because it wasn't realistic in a way. And this made some problems with the heights, but it wasn't that much of a problem because I've used the tricks of just hiding with bushes and stuff like this, because it just works out for me. Also, another thing that I want to say to you guys is thank you to all you guys that are following me on Reddit too. I've got there right now on one picture about 300 likes, 300 upvotes, I'm sorry. And just a thank you for you guys, because it is pretty cool. And I was very happy doing it. I'm very happy that you guys liked it that much too. So yeah, thank you. And there you can see my struggle with the train crossings, with the running trains, but it worked out in the end. And then I just hit it with some more... Let's just say this. I hit it with some more... How's it called? There's the network for the asphalt. The asphalt network, I think it's actually called. I don't know why I didn't remember the name there, but yeah, that's what it called, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so I had to redo some of this stuff, but it worked out in the end. And more about these train tracks. I'm right now considering that these train tracks will kind of be the train tracks that will be going around the mainland, and also will be one of the outside connections. So there will be international trains stopping there and getting people in our town. So just kind of to get in the main exit and entrance point via train line, I think would be a good idea. And yes. Also, this whole area will get a small harbor, I think. This is just a work in progress. I've not even got assets for that, but it will be close to the border. That's all that I know for sure. And more I will see in the future and how I want to do in the future. If you have any kind of inspiration for me that you want me to rebuild, please send it to me in the comments or name it the name of it, and then I will take a look at it and try to rebuild it as good as possible. And yeah, I will right now leave you guys. We'll just be adding in some more details and making another rail crossing. And yeah, for this one I want to say thank you. Hopefully you and your family are staying safe, and please stay at home. Just kind of watch out for yourself and for your health. And yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully see you all healthy in the next episode. Bye.